the lovely and talented Miss Linda Weinder. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you having me.
No problem, no problem. Listen, what you guys are doing, touched my heart. From the time we met, we talked about your business and but more so your testimony, because a lot of times today people aren't starting businesses to solve problems. They're starting businesses to, of course, make money, or they're scared or afraid of the big bad boss man. They don't want a job, things of that nature. So I'm not going to mess it up. I'm going to allow you to talk about, who you are and why did you start the Adaptive Athlete?
Well, I am the parent of a mother of a child with autism. He's not a child any longer. He's now 22, but it's funny you talked about people going to jobs or not wanting to work for the boss and that kind of thing. What I do is 24/7. Like any parent with a parent of a child with special needs, it's every second of the day. And through his life journey, it's become very relevant for him to do activities. He's very high strung. He has a lot of energy. He likes to blow off steam. If we don't do things where he can be active, everybody's life becomes more difficult. And over the past few years, it's been a struggle trying to find things that are appropriate and accepting of him and his disabilities. And I've driven him all over the country, or the United States, trying to find places for him to go and things that are acceptable. And throughout the 22 years, I've realized nobody's going to do anything that is going to work for him. So I started with my husband, our company, The Adaptive Athlete, that is a full fitness facility, fully inclusive for everybody with and without disabilities.
I love it. I love it. It's again, as I said about starting a business with a purpose and starting a business to solve a problem. This is it's just that simple. We all have issues, and I imagine you can correct me or you can elaborate on this. You understood that it wasn't just you going through this; it had to be other parents that were dealing with this as well.
Oh, 100%. We were on a weekly basis driving him to Orange County, which is about an hour away without traffic from where we are now. And, driving him over there, I'd hear the same stories over and over. We come from this area, we drive this far. I'm so tired. I wish I could go to one stop and, take my child to one place where they can do everything. And it wasn't just one person I met there. It was three, four, hundreds of people over the last 22 years that struggled with the same things I did. And it usually came down to, why can't we just make it easier for everybody? Why isn't there more options out there for us? Um, and this is just a small part of one of the options, but, we're my company, the big goal is to provide services where it's a one-stop shop and to give parents that break, give the their children and the people who live with them the options of getting those services, but also the parents not having to drive everywhere, a one-stop shop, or when the child leaves, the parent leaves, parents rested and the child's worn out and they want to go home and rest.
I understand that. So when you just made the decision, talk about how that when you made the decision to go into business and to create the Adaptive Athlete, what was that transition like?
It was huge. I did a lot of courses. I had never been a business owner. I always worked in government and worked for somebody else. I didn't go to school to learn how to be a business person. It was one of those things. I just started putting together what I needed and I thought this community needed. And I went to courses through the SBAs. It got a lot of help from them through other business owners. And just, I had it all on paper and thought I thought I had everything that I needed to open a very successful business. And I just remember one day my husband said, "Hey, quit talking about it and do it. We'll
Wow.
do whatever it takes to get this started." So that kind of opened the gates and started with the journey on finding a building, opening the business. We did have a huge hurdle, which the week we were set to start, we finally set a start date of March 17th, 2020.
Wow.
March 13th changed everybody's lives with COVID. So we've had a really rough journey, but I think you'll have to excuse me because I get very emotional when it comes to this, but the journey, the universe, this is something that is needed, and for some reason there was something that just kept driving me forward, and both my husband and I, in realizing this is something that is so, people deserve to have. I'm so sorry.
No, it's
I didn't
okay.
expect this,
It's
but
okay.
people deserve to have what we offer. And there's days when I'm not going to lie, I get frustrated and it's hard. It's not easy being a business person. And we have amazing clients who, on those days when I think, is this possible? Do I want to continue with this? You'll hear a parent come up and thank you and tell you how much this changed their lives, or what this means, what this business and this what we do means to their child, or how it has changed their lives. And so that that makes me move forward and realize, okay, you got to pull through this, you got to make this happen. So it's been quite a journey, and it has not been an easy one, but it's definitely been worth it.
Yeah,